Hi and welcome to the Azam Shop channel on YouTube. I'm your host Muhammad Azam, and in this particular screencast I'm going to show you how you can style your UI table view control in iOS development. If you haven't watched the first part, I highly recommend that you do so, which is part number 8 or something, because this is going to build on that particular part. So if I run this app right now, you will see it just displays a plain UI table view control. It doesn't have any background, doesn't really have any image, doesn't have a description text or a detailed text, and it does also not have a way to move forward, not a detailed disclosure. Okay, so we're going to add that slowly. All right, let's actually add the button first. I mean the image first. I have already added an image. It's called world.png. Of course, you will have your own images. Go back over here. Now, let me actually start the app again. Here we go. So a UI table view is actually divided into different sections. So this section is a content view. On the left hand side right over here is basically the image view, and inside the content view you can also access the detail view, and on the right hand side it can be an image, the detailed disclosure, or the disclosure view, accessory view. So you can basically, control whatever you like. You can put, and these are UI views, so you can put anything you like. There's also a background view which serves as a background, so if you want to change the background or something. So let's go ahead and add the image. Of course, there are some styles available, and if you don't want those, then you have to design your custom style, which we'll see in the later tutorials. So here we go, cell.imageView, okay, and set image, and we have already have the image, so I'm just going to say UI image with named, and the image name is world.png. Alright, now this image is going to be displayed on the left hand side. That is a default structure. Okay, these are, so the iOS SDK has this default implementations that the image, whenever you add using the image view, it will be on the left hand side of the text. Okay, here we go. So it's on the left hand side of the text, and it's with all the rows. Of course, in an actual application you will have different images for each of the items that you display. Alright, now the second thing we can do is to add some sort of a detailed message. Like if you have item number 1, you can tell the detail about the item. Okay, so we have a detailed text label over here, and it's just a label, UI label control, so we can say set text, and you can actually set any text. So UI table view is awesome. Alright, so let's run this, and you'll see that nothing actually got changed, and that particular thing, the detailed text, is not displayed. It should have been displayed over here, but it doesn't display right now. Okay, now the reason it does not display is that we're still using the UI table view cell style default, so we have to change it, UI table view style, to a subtitle. Okay, and now if you run this, you will notice that we will have the subtitle over here. There we go, UI table view is awesome, right? So next we can change the accessory view. So I can simply say cell set accessory view, and this can be anything. This is a UI view, so you can add anything that you want. I would say UI button. Actually, you know what? Let me add it in a different way. Cell dot accessory view equal to UI button, and button with type UI button type detail disclosure, and let's run it. Now accessory view, once again, it is a UI view, so you can add anything you want. I'm just adding, for the sake of simplicity, I'm just adding a UI button, because UI button also derives from a UI view. Alright, so here we go. We can see that all of these items or rows or cell are decorated with now a detailed disclosure. So we're not done yet. We need to change the color. Okay, so how do we do that? So So if I go over here and if I say simply self.tableview dot background color and UI color green color. So let's run this and see what happens. See, this actually does change the color, but it changes for the whole grid. Okay, and what you want to do is to change the color of the rows, and not only for the rows, and also to add a gradient to it. Okay, so well, if you want to add gradient, it's pretty simple, because you're going to do one thing over here, which is color with patterned image, and we already have the gradient image, which is green gradient.png. Now keep in mind that we are setting this thing on a table view and not on individual rows. Actually, this should be UI image, and then image named is green gradient.png. So it has kind of set the gradient, but the gradient is set on a table level and not on the row level, and that's why it looks so ugly. Okay, so we want to change this. We want to set the gradient to a row level. So I'm just going to say over here clear color, because we don't really want any color for the table view. Okay, the row or the cell will be responsible for the color. So let's go ahead and do that. We are going to use the background view, because that controls the whole background. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to say over here cell.background view equal to UI color, actually background view, yeah, so cell.background view is UI image view. Okay, and in it image alloc, and then init with image, and then UI image named, and then we can provide the gradient, which in this case is green gradient.png. Okay, and let's actually run this and see what happens. So now you can see it looks a little bit much nicer, because the gradient is actually set on the row level or the cell level and not on the whole table level. Okay, so we can see the gradient, but we want to make sure that it looks good, so we are going to also implement cell.selected background view. So if your row is selected, what kind of image does it display? Image view alloc, and init with image, UI image, and then image named, which will be dark green gradient.png. So now when we select the particular cell, you can see that instead of that default color, now it's acting as the dark green gradient. It looks much nicer than the previous implementation. Okay, now if you do want to add much more details, if you want to, I don't know, like add some image over here, then it will be a much better idea to go with a custom cell, and in the future screencast I will show you how to make custom cell. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I hope you like this tutorial, and thank you very much for watching.